So the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what you imagine. That's what you're going to be using to convey the messages of your intentions to the mind of your body so that it responds to that. Now, there'll be some other ingredients that make that happen. Motivation, belief, and expectation. You have to want something. You have to desire it. You have to want it. That's motivation. Belief. You have to be willing to believe in it. You have to be willing to at least believe 51%. The law of dominant effect says whatever has the majority of your belief is what your subconscious responds to. It doesn't have to be perfect belief, but the majority of belief. And lastly, expectation. What form will this take? So if you're going to the dentist and previously you've been afraid of the dentist or you didn't like the experience at the dentist, you're motivated to be comfortable. You're motivated to be out of pain. You're motivated to enjoy the experience. You let yourself believe, I can do it with my hypnosis. My hypnosis lets me do this for myself. And the expectation is, I'll be able to recline in the chair. I'll imagine myself somewhere else. I'll tell my body that the nerves are calm and relaxed or numb on their own. And you proceed and have a wonderful experience with it. So, the mind-body connection involves knowing and understanding the language of that subconscious mind and using it, using the right words. Now, a little while ago I mentioned the word resistance. Resistance is normal. We don't shift our consciousness with hypnosis without some degree of resistance. That's normal in everyone. Some people have more resistance than others. Sometimes the resistance is due to the fact that they don't trust the therapist or they feel the therapist isn't competent or qualified to use hypnosis with them. Or they feel that the therapist doesn't believe it's going to work. Those are forms of resistance. Another form of resistance is when an individual says, and I've heard this many times, from particularly some of the elderly male patients, they'll say, I can't be hypnotized. I've got too much willpower. My will is too strong. And I usually point out to them, it has nothing to do with willpower. If you like being in control, and if you can focus your concentration, and if you've got a good intellect, you're going to be a good hypnotic subject. And that converts that resistance into anticipation or curiosity, to be open, to discover that you make this experience happen by letting it happen. And that's probably the hardest part that you're going to experience in learning to use hypnosis. There's a part of you that will want to be involved, to try. And again, there's no trying allowed. So we've covered conscious, subconscious, some resistance, the language of the subconscious mind. I'm going to use one more example of children. I mentioned that kids under 8 are already thinking literally. They haven't reached that intellectual, analytical state of intellectual sophistication yet. So when doing hypnosis with kids, number one, I don't ever use that term, hypnosis or trance. I simply say, pretend. Pretend you're riding a horse. Pretend you're out at Grandpa's ranch. Pretend you're doing whatever you like to do. And as they're doing it, they might have their eyes closed. They might have their eyes open. Kids fidget and move while they're doing their hypnosis. That's what kids do. And as they're pretending, and I'm asking them for validation, tell me when you're on the horse or when you're riding. And they'll say, yeah, I'm riding it now. I'm going over, I'm jumping a fence. And as I ask them the question, will you tell me your name? They'll answer my question, but they won't say their name. They'll answer the question. Now, do you get it? They'll say yes or no, because that's all I asked. I didn't say your name or tell me your name. I said, will you tell me your name? And they gave me a literal response. Yes. And if I ask them to tell me their name, they will. And oftentimes in coming out of trance, adults as well, I'll ask, how long were your eyes closed? And many people will simply respond, the whole time. Very literal answer. They don't say so many minutes, they say the whole time, which is absolutely correct. It's perfectly literal. And it's just a wonderful sign to me of, wow, they're getting it. They're really doing it. Kids say that all the time. So that's what I mean by that literal quality. It's not an analytical, I'll think myself into trance. I started learning to use hypnosis at age 15. I don't think I really felt the validation or ratification of the trance until I was about 21 or 22. I was able to use hypnosis, but feeling like I was in trance, that didn't happen until much later because I was involved studying it. I was learning about it. I was using it, but I was learning about it. And learning about it is not the same as doing it. You're going to learn hypnosis by experiencing it. So that's where we're going next, to experiencing hypnosis.